Hey everybody, I'm SARA WISEMAN. Today we're working on what is the answer. And there's that old joke, the answer is 42. Well, I don't think the answer is 42. Let's just read the message. What is the answer? For so long, so many of you have been crying in the wilderness, seeking this solution and that solution, this distraction and that distraction, when the answer is this: surrender, become humble, place your ego in the corner and let go of all greed and distraction. Ask for what is true light, and in asking you will receive. And I want to look at this not from, place your ego in the corner, let go of all greed and distraction. That sounds kind of punitive or as if we're being chastised. And I don't think that that's what the guides mean at all. I think the true reality is when we're super attached to ego, we are super attached to the idea of separation, which is incorrect. It's a misbelief. And so we're not letting go of ego and greed and distraction because it's morally wrong or because it's bad or because we might have some judgment about what that's like in our life. It doesn't play into this idea of needing to be a good person, whatever that is. It's really more around the idea of letting go of the grasping need to be different than, or better than, or ahead of, or separate from, or alternately to be less than, to be lower than, to be the victim or the loser. Any way where we're putting ourselves into this polarity of I'm this way or I'm that way. Place your ego in the corner. This is the idea of the old idea when people were bad. Kids were bad, they'd have to go stand in the corner. But the idea was just to put that part of the self there so that the bigger self could come out. When we put our ego in the corner, we allow ourselves to live from our soul self. A lot of these words are pretty big: ego and soul self, and oneness and separation. They're pretty big words. But what I would suggest is potentially looking at the idea of whenever you feel your ego coming out to rule, and this could be in terms of thinking you're better than everyone or you're worse than everyone, just remember that oneness doesn't have these discrepancies. We've said before, there's no hierarchy of souls. And so you're here, the answer is you're here to have these experiences so you get to understand oneness. So the answer is really your understanding of oneness. That's what you're here to figure out. It's an answer that comes sometimes in a flash, and then we get accustomed to looking at things in that perspective. Sometimes this feeling of oneness, or this understanding of oneness, comes in a near-death experience. Sometimes the understanding of oneness comes over a long lifetime of many successes, many failures, all the ups and downs that we all have. The answer is oneness. We are part of oneness. We are particulate consciousness, loosely arranged and loosely forming and reforming in one big collective soul, which is the universe, which is everything, which is all consciousness, which is oneness, and we can't ever be separate from that. It's a big answer, and then we try and apply that to all the very many small things, the small incidents that happen into our lives, and we apply this bigger answer of oneness as our way of living from soul first. Thank you for listening, and I will be with you next time.